Okay, this is Bob again. Thank you for coming back to my website or my YouTube channel, whichever one you're watching this on. I appreciate you coming back. We're going to be talking about part two. This is called the Global Digital Compact. This is going to be discussed at the UN, as all of these 10 parts that we've been discussing. As usual, Emmanuel Macron is knee-deep in all of these 10 parts, including this global digital compact. History, well, not history, but years ago, Emmanuel Macron, as in all of these 10 parts, was busy. I guess he never knew when the tribulation would start, when the rapture would happen. So he had to be ready at any moment. So for many years now, 6 or 7 or 8 years now, Emmanuel Macron had been working on all of these things, including this global digital compact. He's, as I said, he's knee-deep involved in this, especially in France, where he's introduced a lot of these global, actually not global, but local French IDs in France, where each person in France had to be part of this compact, or I just discovered that it's actually called a decree. Uh, Believe it or not, Emmanuel Macron decreed something that all of the French people had to be involved in. You'll see that word, like the word solemn, if you look at that particular video that I did, as I said, Macron is always using not encrypted, but cryptic words, and this is just as cryptic as all of the others. He issued a decree, and I'm going to show you in one of these videos here, or actually in one of these images here, that usually in the Bible, kings and gods, little gods, make decrees. And if you remember back 7 or 8 years ago, Macron said that he was going to fashion his government after Jupiter, the god of Jupiter. So in keeping with that, he was actually making decrees. And I'm going to show you some images in reference to that. But there's also going to be a little twist to this video. And if you hang in there and watch this, you'll see the twist that I'm talking about. So I'll be quiet and we'll get into the images and 1 or 2 videos on the subject of Global Digital Compact that will be discussed September 23rd, 2025 at the UN. And as always, I have to put in a disclaimer that, this September 23rd is weeks away, many weeks away, month and a half as I record this video. So I'm not sure if that will even happen, but I'm going to assume that it will happen. So I'm going to continue to make these videos, and I'm hoping that you enjoy them. And I'm hoping that you see something that's important, and that this is turning into a circus at the UN in September 23rd. And the ringleader of this circus is Emmanuel Macron. Okay?
As the rate of digitalization increases, the need for an inclusive and rights-based digital public infrastructure grows paramount. To support this journey, UNDP, with support from Norway, experts and country experiences, has unveiled a model governance framework for digital legal ID as a digital public infrastructure. Successful digital legal ID requires the right technology with strong governance and a human rights-based approach. It's about people and making sure everyone counts, no one left behind. This framework is for those who seek to develop and advocate for rights-based, inclusive digital identity systems using the digital public infrastructure approach. It demonstrates decades of experiences by the UN, the World Bank, and other actors, working towards closing the global identity gap.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming back. I do want to interrupt myself. That's why I'm doing this right now. I want to talk about something that could be important, and that is that I am having somewhat of a problem connecting Emmanuel Macron and the UN to 666, to the mark of the beast. Before I continue, I want to say that I can connect Emmanuel Macron and I can connect the UN to this digital global compact. But as I just said, I'm having a lot of trouble with my due diligence and studying what I've been studying, reviewing the material, connecting them to 666 and the mark of the beast. And as I said before I continue, does anyone else have an opinion as to why I'm having such a problem with this? If you do, please list in the comment. You could stop this recording right now and think about it and make a comment, but I'll wait. No, I'm not going to wait too long. But in my opinion, this is the problem, and this is why I'm having a problem figuring this out and connecting the two to 666 and the mark of the beast. If the rapture were to happen in September of 2025, in my opinion, the mark of the beast will not be made mandatory by the false prophet or the Antichrist, Emmanuel Macron, until 3.5 years after the rapture. Excuse me. That would make the mark mandatory, if I did my math correctly, somewhere around January or February of 2029. That is a long way off, and anything could happen. Technology, if you know about technology, it doubles every 2 years, probably even quicker than that. But from what I've heard, it doubles every 2 years. There's going to be a ton of stuff happening in the next 3.5 years. Some of it is just the normal technological advancement. If it happens to be during the tribulation period, which it will be, don't forget, in my opinion, there's going to be a fake alien invasion. And I strongly believe that these fake aliens are going to be demons. So there will be a demon technology that will also be present during the tribulation period. So my point is, this September, in the year 2025, there is, in my opinion, no way that anyone could understand or look ahead and predict what's going to be happening in 2029 in reference to the mark of the beast, in reference to 666. Now, I know I'm opening up a can of worms here because not everybody believes, as I do, that the mark will happen 3.5 years after the rapture. That's fine. As I said, if you want to comment, please put it in the comments below. Don't throw anything at me. People have strong opinions about things, and this is probably one of them. So in my opinion, as I just said, it won't be until 3.5 years after the UN meeting in September. A lot can happen, and I think that's why I'm having trouble connecting Macron and the UN to 666 and the mark of the beast. By the way, that should be about the same time that the two witnesses will be murdered by the Antichrist. And I was wondering if it's possible that the connection between the two witnesses being murdered could be because the mark will be made mandatory and they will not agree to that. So that could be part of the reason why they will be taken off the scene by the Antichrist or the false prophet. Something to think about. Um, there's a lot of other things that I could talk about, but I'm not going to talk about them now because we're trying to keep this all about technology, the global ID impact on the world during the tribulation period. Um, so for now, I just want to talk about that. And I think I might add another video behind this one about some other things that I was thinking about. But for now, let's just end this part of the video on that point. And as I said, if you have any points that you want to discuss, put it in the comments below and we'll talk about it. Okay? Yeah, I knew there were some things I forgot to talk about. There's really a ton of things that go along with what we're talking about here, but I'll just stick to two. One of them, of course, is the name Emmanuel Macron. I'll get into that in a second. But the other one is really fascinating. If you think about it, I mentioned earlier in the video that Emmanuel Macron, when he made this global digital compact, he made this through a decree. Yeah, I said that correctly. It was a decree that he made to start this global digital compact. You believe that? A decree. And anyway, I looked it up in the Bible, and a decree is usually made by either a king or a god. Now we know that Emmanuel Macron sees himself as a god. I'm not sure if he sees himself as a small g or a large g, capital G. Probably sees himself as a capital G god. But anyway, he's talking about this decree. And as I said, one of the other ways, or one of the other people that can make a decree is a king. And I have been talking about Emmanuel Macron as a king, or more specifically, as the emperor of Europe. Emmanuel Macron as the emperor of Europe. There's too much stuff to go into here, but I have talked about this for 8 years. That the European, the revival of Europe, the two legs of Daniel's statue, Nebuchadnezzar's statue, is made up of, one is the government, one is the religion, both legs. And after Emmanuel Macron does away with the religious leg, he will have complete control over the governmental, political, military leg of that two-legged statue of Nebuchadnezzar. Um, and because of that, he will become the emperor of Europe. And as I said, I've been saying this for the longest time. So he sees himself as the emperor, the king of Europe, and that's what he's shooting for. And he's not too far away from doing that. He wants to revive the Roman Empire and become the emperor. And because he sees himself as the emperor, he can make a decree. Makes sense, right? He's the emperor, he can make a decree. So that's fascinating that we talked about two people who can make a decree. One is the king or the emperor, which Emmanuel Macron will be very shortly, and the other is God, who can make a decree. And we know from 8 years of studying Big Mac, he sees himself as God, and he will, as you all know, step into that temple, into probably the Holy of Holies, 3.5 years into the tribulation period, and declare himself to be God. And at that time, Israel is in a lot of trouble. So that's a very interesting part of what we're studying here, that Emmanuel Macron, the Emperor of Europe, is making a decree. It all makes sense, doesn't it? And the other thing I wanted to mention was his name, Emmanuel Macron. Do you think he's going to use that during the tribulation period? Do you think he's going to hype his name? Emmanuel means God is with us, and Macron means mark. And we know that the mark of the beast will be fashioned after his name. It's the name, the Bible calls it. So here is Emmanuel Macron's name, includes Mark. Um, is it more than just a coincidence? I don't think so. But anyway, those are two things that I just remembered. I wanted to add them into this part of the video, and I think we'll end it here. But there's just so much going on, and this global impact, this global digital compact, is just a major part of what Macron wants to institute during the tribulation period. So much so that even before he becomes emperor, he's making emperoric, I don't even know what the word is. He's making decrees as if he is the emperor. No coincidence. Okay, thanks.